It is 12 noon across the great state of Alabama. A little rainy, yucky-looking day. A lot of rain coming in over the next 24 hours, so be weather aware. Be careful out there. Over in Atlanta, Georgia tonight, the Indiana Hoosiers, a rematch as the Indiana Hoosiers, the Big Ten champions, trying to get to the national championship game to take on the Miami Hurricanes, who will play in their home stadium as they knocked off the Ole Miss Rebels last night out in the desert. So the SEC, for the third year in a row, will not have a team playing for the national championship.
You want to feel better about yourself? Work for you. Well, I got a great way, and it cuts time out of your workout, significant time, and it's all FDA approved. It's electrical muscle stimulation fitness. That's what they offer there at Mandu. It's a 15-minute workout. They put you in a suit. They hook you up to a machine. You go through the 15-minute workout. It's the equivalent to 6 hours in a gym. Different muscle groups they can attack, whether you're training for a marathon or maybe you just want to feel better. You hadn't been in the gym in quite a while. All age levels, doesn't matter if you're on maybe the other side like me, or maybe you're a younger person. Mandu can work for you. MANDUU.com. Your first visit is free. Tell Paul and the gang that Landrum from Jock sent you.
All right, so let's get you up to date on what's going on in the transfer portal, starting with Alabama. Yesterday afternoon, early evening, Isaiah Horton, the wide receiver, he has decided that he is going to enter the transfer portal. Remember, he only played 1 year at Alabama because he came out of the portal last year from the University of Miami. Alabama has added former North Alabama punter Adam Watford to the transfer portal, the Dothan, Alabama native. He was the coast specialist of the year in his conference, to average 46.5 yards per punt. He had a long of 74 yards, 21 total punts of 50-plus yards. So he has been added. He is the seventh player to be added by Alabama out of the transfer portal. He now joins Hollywood Smothers, a running back, Caden Strayhorn, an interior offensive lineman, Devin Tompkins, interior defensive lineman, Caleb Woodson, interior linebacker, and Ethan Stengel, long snapper, Syracuse. So 7 players have come out of the portal. Meanwhile, everyone is waiting on Cam Coleman's visit. He is scheduled to visit the University of Alabama sometime today. Word is that they believe that the relationship between him and Derek Nix, who was his coach down at Auburn for 2 years, that maybe that relationship would be fruitful enough to potentially for Alabama to land Cam Coleman. This is just my editorial. I think that he will end up with a Texas school, but anything can happen in this day and age.
Yeah, it certainly can. And you don't know what he's looking for, but I would think that would be wrapped up here. And he doesn't have to make a decision, but I would think with a guy like Cam Coleman, you probably want everything wrapped up in the next 2 or 3 days.
I thought it had already been done.
I did too. I didn't think he'd leave the state of Texas without a deal.
Yeah.
Well, he's got deals that are offered, but without taking one of those deals. But maybe playing closer to home is something that's important to him.
Possibly. And Molly, our poll question today had to do with Cam Coleman.
Yeah, where will he suit up for in 2026? Will it be Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Texas, or Alabama? Conrad and his Burners, they're still winning because Alabama is up with 34.3%, and second it is Texas with 29.6%, Texas Tech in third with 22.9%, and A&M with only 13.2%.
So 34% of our audience, and this is a pretty good sample size of votes.
Yeah.
And 34% believe that he is going to end up playing at Alabama.
We were having fun the other day, and I was talking about with all of that money, and we were talking about his visit to Texas Tech in Lubbock, and I did the top 10 night spots there in Lubbock and kind of made the joke, Cam Coleman's Bar and Grill. I started thinking about that. When do we finally, or when do we get our first, hey, I've got a lucrative Bryce Underwood type deal, whatever, and we see a player open up a business in a college town? I think we'll get it one day.
That's a good thought. I'm sure somebody somewhere brought
Eric
that
Gilbert
to the table.
Smoke Shop.
Okay.
That could have worked out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's not out of the realm, right? With some of these guys that got millions of dollars while you're still in school there.
Being creative, thinking outside the box, trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
Auburn Tigers, meanwhile, they signed Keyshawn Singleton. Why does everybody named Keyshawn end up at Auburn to play sports? You got 2 on the basketball team.
Oh. I don't know. Seems like they would have missed out
question.
on Keyshawn Johnson.
I was about to say, that's the first one I thought.
Could have been big back in the day. There are a lot of Keyshawns.
Yeah, there's 2 basketball.
And Deshaun's.
Yeah.
Keyshawn and Deshaun.
South Florida's top wide receiver last year, he has inked his deal He is joining Tampa North. Got a quote from him. He says, "I trust Golish. I believe in his process. I believe in everything that he's about to bring to this team." End of quote.
It's interesting that every one of his former guys from South Florida have said almost that exact same thing. I trust the man. I believe in his process. I think that's good news if you're an Auburn fan.
Auburn also signed James Madison transfer offensive lineman Joseph Simmons. Simmons started all 13 games for James Madison at left tackle this season and fills a major position of need for Auburn.
I love just looking at his profile. He looks
He's
like
smiling.
He's smiling
Ear to ear.
He looks
He's
like
happy.
a very, very friendly human being.
Very much so.
But maybe he's not so when he's playing offensive tackle.
So there's two guys that came out of the portal for Auburn. A member of the Auburn football team that had not gone into the portal yet is entering the transfer portal. Auburn offensive tackle Tyler Johnson, the 6'6", 323-pound Johnson, has played in 135 snaps over the last 3 years. He held an 88 rating in the 2023 class. So not a lot of playing time. And you could see that with Auburn adding other pieces to the offensive line that the pecking order obviously has been established. So Tyler Johnson is in the transfer portal.
Yeah, there's another kid. I think his name's Cole Skinner. We looked at his taking a profile picture. He looks like he wants to just hurt everybody. But he's a 6'5", 325-pound guy. And they've already gotten a visit from, I can't call his name. I don't know if I can pronounce it. His last name anyways, the kid from Ohio State, considered one of those interior offensive linemen that went on a visit and spoke highly of the Auburn staff. So you definitely need more guys there, and you need quality guys, not just guys.
Speaking of Ohio State, they are entertaining at Auburn former five-star wide receiver Mylan Graham from Ohio State. Also, LSU wide receiver transfer Kyle Parker is on campus, along with UCLA cornerback transfer Andre Jordan Jr. So very busy. So Alex Golish and the team of coaches, they have a plan, and they have been very busy since last Friday.
Yeah, they sure have. It's how many more big names do we get? Because we're in day 7?
Yeah,
of
1
the
week
portal
ago.
being open.
Yep, 1 week ago.
How many of these guys are still mulling over their offers that they've gotten? Or
Auburn's got 15 commitments out of the portal, and according to 247, they are the 12th best right now in the transfer portal rankings. Alabama, meanwhile, is currently 25th in the transfer portal rankings, and they have now 7 commitments.
What I was getting at is, do you think we possibly get more guys, big name guys, towards the end of the portal window that announce and we get the do not contacts? Like, they're working out their deals right now. They haven't told their school they don't plan to re-enroll. And they're working out those deals, and then right as the portal closes, they've got their deal and they're on their new place.
I don't think so. I think the majority of the teams know what's happening.
A lot of these teams, they've already been really proactive in trying to secure their guys.
It's interesting sitting here looking at these transfer portal rankings. Alabama is 25th. The team that is right behind them, South Florida. And South Florida has 27 commitments. Heartline just got a receiver from Ohio State to commit to South Florida. So obviously he knows that roster pretty well, and he knows some backup dudes that wasn't never going to probably get on the field at Ohio State, but they're going to get an opportunity now in Tampa. Also, this is interesting. Dabo Swinney fires Garrett Riley right after the bowl game, the Pinstripe Bowl, in which Penn State beat them. And word is now that the University of Missouri and Eli Drinkwitz is hiring Garrett Riley as an offensive assistant.
Wow.
Because Chip Lindsey is the offensive coordinator.
I mean, this guy was the hot name, 4 years ago?
When he was at TCU.
And who's their quarterback, Austin Simmons? Is that
Yep.
Is that where he went?
Because everybody wanted Alabama to hire
Garrett Riley.
Yeah.
So Garrett Riley was the hottest name when he was at TCU. He ends up at Clemson. Clemson was horrible this year. And so now Missouri has hired him as an offensive assistant, not the offensive coordinator, because that's Chip Lindsey.
See what happens. You got a really good running back coming back, Austin Simmons.
You got two with
I think
Roberts
that's a
and
great
Hardy.
hire, yeah. And I'm
you
with
got-
you. I liked Austin Simmons going to Missouri. I think that could be really good.
You lost some guys on the defensive side that you're going to have to replace, but Eli, he just finds a way to do it. Interesting.
So last night, the hatchet was buried between Damon Williams, the quarterback at Washington, and the University of Washington, as Williams has agreed to return to Seattle after Thursday's discussions with his new attorney and the university. Washington had no intention of releasing Williams from his contract. We talked about that a lot. He signed the deal on January the 2nd. It wasn't just Washington that was going to fight Damon Williams. News came out last night that the Big Ten was also going to sue Williams. So not only the university, but the Big Ten Conference was going to go after him. Williams's Washington contract, which could max out at $5 million. $5 million. Makes him one of the nation's top highest paid players for 2026. ESPN also reported that one person who had contacted schools about Williams' availability was Cordell Landers. If that name sounds familiar, he was the one that told Nico Iamaleava and the family they needed to leave Tennessee. So this guy was given advice to Damon Williams about potentially leaving. And luckily, Williams got an attorney who told him, pump the brakes there, champ. Need to stay put.
Yeah, Damon Williams, he probably got a phone call or maybe an opportunity he didn't see coming, and maybe an offer, a verbal offer with that phone call that enticed him, and that's fun. But then you're staring at the legal team at Washington. You get some advice from an attorney, then you find out that the Big Ten is ready, is ready to come out. I mean, short of Pam Bondi, you had you had everybody that was ready to attack you in this thing.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it was you can leave, but you're going to pay us the $4 million, and then you can go wherever you want. And I think that's a pretty simple for him to go, yeah, I think I'm going to stay here and just take the $4 million. I will say this. I would pay good money for a live stream of his first meeting with his teammates after coming back.
Yeah.
That's going to be an awkward moment.
And Jed Fish, paraphrasing his quote, said he's got to work on getting back in good standing with his teammates and earning their trust back and all of this.
And now he's a great quarterback. Everyone knew he was going to be the highest paid player on the team. But when you're making $5 million potentially, there's expectations that come with that.
And I know you can't always cut it out completely, but what created this? Well, ultimately, what created it is the pay-for-play system that we have in place. But Pat, what also spurred Damon Williams to do all of this? It was tampering.
Oh, absolutely.
It was tampering.
It was
blatant tampering.
Lane Kiffin has swung and missed on every quarterback potential, and he was desperate. And that's exactly what he did. Reached out and probably went through the guy that I just mentioned that had given Nico's family the great advice to leave Tennessee. So tampering was the reason. I'm trying to find out some information here in regards to Sam Leavitt, because we reported last hour that he was leaving Tennessee, and now the feeling is that he is going to go and visit Miami on a recruiting visit or a transfer portal visit, whatever you call it. So Sam Leavitt has now become the number one product in the transfer portal, and we'll see who's going to overpay and bring him in. And it would be funny because of his injury that he doesn't play till October. Do you get a discount on that?
If I'm Levitt's people, I'm like, no, we've had medical people tell us he's good to go, full price.
Yeah, full price. Yeah,
full price. You don't get him on clearance.
I think we talked about it. He's got a lot of leverage right now. He's in a pretty good spot.
I was just reading your text.
Yeah, please don't read that.
No, I'm not reading it on the air, but I just.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean that's why I sent it to you.
Yeah.
And I'll now send it to Landrum for Landrum to look at, and we'll get his immediate reaction on the air.
Hopefully not as colorful as my response. This is the punter, correct?
What the?
By the way, that's Conrad laughing.
That was perfect. Oh, that was good. That was good.
I don't even know what's. I have nothing to add to that. Wow. How old?
You could tell me any number between 12 and 22, and I would believe.
You know, Conrad, when I vote for this kid for the Ray Guy Award next year, I'm going to throw it in your face.
Please do.
Because you've been making fun of him the whole time.
He's got a 74-yard punt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is Molly's mom's alma mater, North Alabama. Why would you be making fun of
The
a football
disrespect is crazy.
I had friends that went there. It's a good school. I love Florence. Great town.
You just don't want any of their football players to play for Alabama.
I would love for him to play for Alabama. It's just sad when we're getting excited about punters. Or that's all there is to be excited about right now.
You got a visit coming up from a guy from New Haven.
So imagine this is like your group this weekend. You've got the kid from Rio Grande, Tony Diaz. You've got the New Haven tight end. You've got some Irish kicker. You've got
Cam
a punter
Coleman.
for North Alabama. And then you got Cam Coleman. And he's just looking around like, these are the guys you're going after?
And then Cam Coleman there in the group.
He's like, I'm just trying to imagine his face. I'm just like, what the hell did I get myself into this weekend?
But then everybody else at the table's like, how many Rolexes do you have?
Well, that's the thing. So how much are you hoping for? Oh, man. Fingers crossed for 200K. How much are you asking for? 3.5 million's my floor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why schools are paying players to go on recruiting visits.
You get there with your travel group that they haven't told you who visit, and you go to walk in the restaurant, and the other four guys are sitting there, and then we're waiting on one more, and then Cam Coleman walks in.
One of these is another. Going to be a great weekend in Tuscaloosa.
You should win in basketball, so
Yeah,
that should help.
I was about to say Wimp said tomorrow, so
That should help with the Chica kid.
that's right.
We continue three-man front on a Friday.
It is 12:22 on this Friday. Thanks for tuning us in. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Audience continues to grow. If you check us out on YouTube, just hit the subscribe. Audience continues to grow. If you check us out on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. We'd appreciate that a great deal. Continue to button. We'd appreciate that a great deal. Continue to grow this, as now we've done this for about a year and a half, and it's been gangbusters. Been gangbusters. We appreciate it very much.
Enjoy your weekend at the Finnick scale, but it's a great place to watch all the action, whether it's tonight with Indiana, Oregon, the wild card weekend, college basketball. You can find it there on the projector screens, the wall-to-wall projector screens, the wall-to-wall video boards. They got a couple of pool tables there as well, but great food and drink menu from the shareables, the absolutely to die for wings. Also, fork and knife options. They cut their own steaks in-house, and they have fresh Gulf seafood. It's the Finnick. Open this afternoon. Get in, enjoy some acoustic music, then a little college football playoff, the NFL, and college basketball throughout the weekend. 1630 2nd Avenue South near Railroad Park.
So Arizona State transfer quarterback Sam Leavitt, he is wrapping up his visit at the University of Tennessee. Sources tell VolQuest, which is the On3 site that covers the Tennessee Vols, that the family and Leavitt had such a good time, they extended their visit there in Knoxville because they were originally going to be there for one day, but they decided to stay the night. As a matter of fact, they had more meetings this morning before they're heading to Miami to visit the Hurricanes. So this is the first quarterback to visit during the transfer portal window at the University of Tennessee because heading into next season, Joey Aguilar has no more time there remaining eligibility. And so they're looking for a quarterback. Sources tell VolQuest that Leavitt watched film with Joey Halsell and Josh Heupel to get a feel for the offense. Tennessee made subtle tweaks on the offense this year because of what they needed with Joey Aguilar. With no school in session and no kids on campus, it was a very business-like, laid-back approach to the meeting with Leavitt and his family. Matter of fact, on Thursday night, the family and Sam Leavitt went to Heupel's house for dinner, and the website claims that it was a very laid-back family-type environment that was followed up by breakfast this morning with Joey Halsell, and there was more football talk at the complex. So I would say this is pretty serious because, to my knowledge, this is not what happened at LSU.
No, he's not going to stay there for 3 days with his family. When we saw that the visit had been extended through Friday, you knew that it really had legs and there was a possibility of him going there.
So, I mean, he goes over to Heupel's house. He has dinner, his family does, and then this morning they have breakfast, and then there's more film work. So
it seems like it's going to be Tennessee or Miami.
I go Tennessee or Miami on that one. I just want to know, what was the awkward exchange that Leavitt and Kiffin had on that LSU visit?
Hey, Sam, you want to see my DMs?
Without singing on the air, I'm going to.
So we're waking up and doing hot yoga before breakfast, right, Sam? Nah, Coach, I don't know if I'm into that.
what was the
No, I can see where.
So last night, Matt Moscona on X, formerly known as Twitter, ESPN radio down in Baton Rouge, friend of the program, noted Alabama hater. He tweeted the following: a lot of people asking about Sam Leavitt. I'm told that's not quite dead yet, but a lot of work to do with how the visit ended in Baton Rouge. I would like to know how it ended.
Lane called him by the wrong name.
Called him Sorsby.
Sam, thanks for visiting.
I'm telling you, my conspiracy theory is that they were sitting at the basketball game and Lane was texting with Damon Williams and Sam saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
I have a more fun theory, but just saying, as a type.
Yeah.
Things could have gotten awkward.
Sam
Leavitt
has a type?
No. Sam Leavitt's, apparently, is that his mom?
Think so.
Sam Leavitt's mom is She is not a brunette.
Oh, I gotcha.
That's what he's talking about. There's a type that.
I think your theory is the best one. I was just going for backup theories.
Well, no, I mean, listen, we're throwing out conspiracy theories.
I mean, when something ends awkwardly, you start.
Because
Okay, that would have been really awkward.
Because I looked over there really quickly, and I thought that was Zach Wilson's mom.
Her friend?
Okay, understandable.
Was she in the bookstore when she took that picture?
She was.
Okay.
Well, that's good. She likes to read. Intelligent.
Well, it looks like it's the.
Tempe just lost a beautiful person. You guys just refill them, though. It's just a. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'm sure she's a wonderful mom, a wonderful person. That was just another theory.
Keep that one to myself.
Yeah, probably wise.
If you're keeping it to yourself, it must be bad.
Keeping that one to myself.
I can't wait to hear it in the break.
Well, you know what? The new sales event is going on now at Courtesy GMC, and it's going on all weekend long. You need to get by and see them right off of I-459 exit 32 in Trussville. Big savings on brand new GMCs, up to $15,000 off MSRP on Sierras in stock. They got plenty to choose from on their 9.5-acre lot. They got AT4s, Denali's, SLTs from the Sierra brand. You name it, they've got it on the lot and is ready to roll. If you're more of an SUV person, you can save thousands on brand new Yukons, Yukon XLs, Terrains, and Acadias. All sorts of Denali's there in all those packages. And then when you buy a new GMC at Courtesy, a 1,000-mile warranty. That's peace of mind for the long haul. So shop the huge selection this weekend at Courtesy GMC in Trussville. Really shining my voice right off of I-459 exit 32 in Trussville. Online, it's courtesybirmingham.com. Courtesy GMC. Bell's event is on, and the savings are real. Get by and see them.
I get great news for Molly Robinson. I'll tell you what it is next. $12:32, three-man front. Just when you believe that Matt Rule in Nebraska football is dead, transfer portal, outgoing, incoming. This one incoming. Molly, your Cornhuskers have acquired a transfer wide receiver
Let's
from
go.
UCLA, and it is Quasi Gilmer.
Quasi.
This is a cool name.
I like that name.
Yep. He is a Sierra Canyon, California product. Spent 2 seasons at UCLA after signing with them. Caught 81 passes, over his 2 seasons, 880 yards and 6 touchdowns. This last fall, 50 catches, 535 yards.
Welcome to the greatest college football land of all in Lincoln.
He's got a UNLV quarterback
And now UCLA receiver.
And you can call him Quasimodo.
and a miserable
That is
human
true.
being running the offense.
You got a written-in nickname.
Yeah, Landrum's favorite.
I thought you were going to say, when you said receiver, I thought Cam Coleman was going to Nebraska.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
That'd be crazy.
I think we'd see Molly sprinting
I would
around the building doing.
Would you guys
doing
have to
chants.
eliminate a sport?
No.
Yeah, sorry, archery team.
Sorry.
Have you seen this guy? He's 6'4", about 225.
Taking us back to the natty.
I just upped my donations a little bit.
Good for
to the
you.
fund, so
Quasi needs it.
he needs it.
SEC basketball coming up this weekend. It starts tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Tennessee takes on Florida. That'll be a really good game down in Gainesville. LSU is at Vanderbilt. That's at 12 noon. Then at 1 o'clock, Georgia on the road against South Carolina. 2:30, Buckyball will host the Oklahoma Sooners. Then at 5 o'clock, down on the Plains, number 15, Arkansas will take on the Auburn Tigers as Auburn tries to get their first win in SEC action. Again, that's a 5 o'clock tip-off, and you can hear it right here on Jocks. Missouri at Ole Miss. That's a 5 o'clock tip-off. Bama is hosting Texas. Texas has not won a game in the SEC. They started out 0-2. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off. And at 7:30, which will be an 8:30 tip-off their local time, as Mississippi State takes on Kentucky. I tell you what, I haven't seen a point spread yet in that game. But my goodness gracious, Mississippi State's playing really good basketball. And meanwhile, Kentucky's not. And if Kentucky loses to start out 0-3,
Yeah, we might have a new coach next year in Lexington.
Can't shoot, can't score.
and 2 of those 3 losses at home in Rupp Arena,
And if I'm not mistaken, no, never mind. Missouri was pretty good at basketball last year. It was 2 years ago when
It was
they
2
were-
years ago
when
they
they did
were
win a
bad,
game.
yeah.
Conrad, here's the memo. Everybody, for the exception of South Carolina and LSU last year, was good at basketball.
That's right. That's right. It was 2 years ago that Missouri was
Yes.
like them.
Yes. Yes. Now, we're not going to be as fortunate this year. We're not going to have 14 teams
No,
make the NCAA basketball tournament.
I think it's so early, but I think Joe Lenardi had 10 in last time I looked, which is still good.
It's still extremely good, considering there were some years me and Landrum would be doing this show and we'd be like, oh, maybe 6.
Are we still
Cross our
going to have a
fingers for
season
6.
considering that it should be Michigan and Arizona that are going to be playing for it all?
It does feel like one of those, like UConn a couple years ago, where it was like, they had just won, and everybody was like, oh, well, it seems too easy to pick them, but then they won it again. It feels that way with Michigan and Arizona, where we're going to try to convince ourselves that somebody else is in the mix, but they're so good.
I love Yaxel Lindebor, but just for the sake of everything that's happened at Michigan, I hope that it's not Michigan. I'd rather see Arizona.
They don't deserve a national championship in football and basketball in 3 years.
Yax has got
Bunch of
$3.5
cheaters.
million. He's fine.
Look why she's smiling from ear to ear.
She's just loving this.
Is Quasi bringing Nico?
No, Nebraska
No.
basketball
We're
is incredible.
undefeated.
Oh,
They're 15-0. Currently
Top 10.
number 11 in the net rankings.
Oh, that's fine. Top 10 in my heart.
It's very impressive.
Michigan, Arizona, Iowa State. That's your top 3 according to the net rankings this morning, followed by Duke, Purdue, Gonzaga. Vandy's up to 7. Number 7 for the Vanderbilt Commodores. UConn 8. BYU 9. BYU's 14-1. Illinois
They
is
paid like $8 million for that kid. They better be good.
Illinois is 10, so that's good for Alabama
Yeah, that is good.
for beating a
Top 10 team.
Yep. A quad 1 win, big time for Alabama. Nebraska's 11. Alabama is 12 in the very latest net rankings, followed by Michigan State, Houston, Louisville, and Utah State, Kansas, Iowa, Virginia, and Florida. That's your top 20. Arkansas they're in the top 25 in the net rankings at 25. That's who is visiting Auburn coming up. But Kentucky's 34, although Kentucky's winless
I
in
guess
the
it's because they
SEC.
just have a lot of good loss, or they've lost to a lot of good teams.
Pat, do you still play the Ivy League on Friday afternoons?
I've not got that fired up yet, but yes, Remember, New Jersey Institute of Technology, which is not, by the way, I know that's not an Ivy League school, but, they play a lot of, 11:30, 12 noon games sometimes.
Is that when they play New Haven?
I don't know if they play New Haven.
I guess deeper into the conference schedule, we start getting more of those Friday games, like your Cornell and whatever, and they tip it at 3 o'clock Central Time.
I love those games.
What was it, Camden College?
Quinnipiac.
Or whatever you just made up?
Carson Newman is a real school.
Carson Newman. Oh, that.
Carson.
Did you think I just made that up?
Yeah, I really did.
That is a real
You've
school.
never heard of Carson Newman?
Carson Newman's a cool school.
I haven't heard of that one. I apologize. Where is it?
Isn't it Baltimore?
Sounds right.
You should know that, right?
I do not. Carson, let's see. Notable alumni. I'm sure this is going to be a banner list.
Carson Newman's in Jefferson City, Tennessee. What was the one that's in
Another one you're talking about.
in Baltimore?
You're
John
thinking
Hopkins.
John Hopkins. That's it.
That's in Baltimore.
Thank you.
I thought you were
Sounds
thinking,
just like Carson.
I
Does.
thought you were talking about the University of Maryland,
Baltimore County.
Baltimore County. Aren't
UMBC.
they? Yeah, aren't they their little dog?
Retrievers.
Golden
Yeah,
Retrievers.
Yeah, the Retrievers. Mhm.
Well, I learned something new today.
You just thought that Carson Newman was a made-up school?
I 100% thought you made that entire sentence up.
Kind of like in 2 years, people think Birmingham Southern was a made-up school.
Or
Yeah.
Tampa North.
Yes.
We will get to your text messages. We got plenty of them. Maybe Faye has texted in. Not heard from Faye during our broadcast today.
She texted in this morning. She was.
She did? What'd she say?
She texted. Oh yeah, I didn't tell Landrum and Molly this because I didn't share this with them before the show. So
What time did she text this
Faye
morning?
texted in. Let me see the timestamp. She texted in at 6:43. I'm gonna read this text to you out of context because I don't remember what we were talking
She
about.
probably
this
just
time.
got off work.
I think we were talking about the Oregon. Took me a second. I got it. I think we were talking about maybe the Oregon-Indiana game. This is what Faye texted in. I agree with Conrad. They have to start fast. Some other things, though, it's best to start slow. That was at 6:43 this morning.
Faye. That sound means there's breaking news here on the show. For more, we'll send it to the three-man front breaking news desk where Pat Smith is standing on top of breaking news. Hello, Pat.
Well, it was bad news last night in the desert for the Ole Miss Rebels as they were eliminated from the college football playoff. And more bad news. Moments ago, the NCAA has denied Trinidad Chambliss an extra year of eligibility. It would have been his 6th year of eligibility. The decision comes after a verbal denial in December. Ole Miss can still appeal this decision. A statement by Tom Mars, who is Chambliss's attorney. I assume that Ole Miss will file an appeal with the NCAA. That said, there is now an opportunity to move this case to a level playing field where Trinidad's rights will be determined by the Mississippi judiciary instead of some bureaucrats in Indianapolis who couldn't care less about the law or doing the right thing. So this is setting the stage now for Tom Mars.
This is what needed to happen to move this thing forward.
Probably correct, yeah. So now Tom Mars is going to get into a Mississippi courtroom somewhere and file an injunction against the NCAA. But the breaking news, Trinidad Chambliss, the outstanding quarterback for Ole Miss, who played 2 years at Ferris State, 1 year at Ferris State, did not play a down because he had chronic tonsillitis. Got plenty of medical records of what was going on with him, but the NCAA says we need more information. They're not happy with the decision, obviously, now. And so Tom Mars looking at legal ramifications on what they can do against the NCAA. So this is a major, major story.
Well, not only that, but if you're Ole Miss, you're still in flux. What do you do if you're a guy like Deuce Knight that's pursuing an opportunity? You have an opportunity there at Ole Miss, but are you
How long is this going to drag on?
Right.
Like, you probably want to have a guy in place pretty quickly. I will say the good news, not for Ole Miss, but at least for Trinidad, that makes me happy for him, is he played so well down the stretch that even if he is not able to come back, I think he has carved himself. Like, he will get drafted in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, he is a special talent, and he got to showcase that. So that is the good news. Is worst case for him is he'll be in the NFL next year, but it feels like Tom Mars will do his
Well,
thing.
you think about the potential that NFL scouts see with him. And
Absolutely.
No disrespect to Ferris State, but he's a guy that played at Ferris State, and then what he's been able to do at the highest level of college football, and how much could still be left.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens if all of a sudden he jumps ahead of a lot of guys on the draft board, including a Ty Simpson, that knocks Ty Simpson down into a second-round pick, and maybe Ty Simpson changes his mind, and he wants to come back to Alabama or go into the transfer portal. Because according to his dad in a story with ESPN, Ty Simpson had the opportunity to go to 3 or 4 different schools that would have paid probably a lot more money than Alabama.
And the belief now would be that 2 of those schools are going after one quarterback right now, and whoever doesn't get that quarterback we've been talking about a lot this hour, maybe that would be a home for Ty Simpson.
Would you be disgusted if Ty Simpson was the quarterback at Miami next year?
No.
Not the Dolphins, Hurricanes.
How about Tennessee?
No. I'd rather him go to Miami than Tennessee.
So it would bother you if he was at Tennessee?
I mean, it wouldn't bother me, but I just don't.
Third Saturday in October, it would.
Don't want to have to play him.
Yeah, I know it's the new world of college football, but that would set
that would sting a little bit more.
The fact that he's a team captain,
and you're going to
one of your biggest rivals.
Correct.
Your second biggest rival.
Correct.
Some people say it's their number 1 rival.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a big fan of that, but best of luck to him and whatever it happens. But this is an interesting wrinkle in that story as well.
So the big story, again, the NCAA has denied Trinidad Chambliss his 6th year of eligibility, which would end his college career. This decision comes after a verbal denial in December. He'll appeal this decision. His attorney, Tom Mars, is now signaling that they will get into a Mississippi courtroom and look for injunctive relief.
This is there.
Yeah. Little home field advantage. 49450. Heavy rain moving through the Birmingham area, and man, goodness gracious, it's been a dark and dreary day for those that are Ole Miss Rebel fans. Last night, the Rebels lose. Very close game. Last play of the game to the Miami Hurricanes. Lose their opportunity to play for a national championship. And the NCAA has denied an extra year of eligibility. And now, just because the way these things happen, Molly, the domino is happening in regards to the transfer portal. And so now there is an expert prediction out of the transfer portal because now Ole Miss potentially might need a quarterback.
Yeah, on threes, Pete Nakos, who we talk about a lot, he has logged an expert prediction for Ole Miss to land Auburn true freshman transfer quarterback Deuce Knight.
Not a shock because Deuce Knight is a Mississippi kid, and Ole Miss was heavily involved in Deuce Knight's recruitment, and he ended up obviously going to Auburn. So I think there's a lot to still be said, Landrum, in regards to what potentially is going to happen here with the Chambliss situation, because I think that they will get an injunction unless what Conrad brought up a moment ago, that Trinidad Chambliss, his stock is so high right now that I think the NFL, I mean, the next mock drafts that come out, I think a lot of people would most definitely take Trinidad Chambliss over Ty Simpson.
Well, and that's the question really, is just what is his ceiling, I guess, from a draft perspective. I don't think he'd be a first-round guy, but I could see somebody really falling in love with Trinidad Chambliss and going, oh, second-round pick? Yeah, let's take a little bit of a gamble there. So he may have made himself a lot of money, and he may be in a good situation one way or the other, but obviously Ole Miss fans would. And, I mean, I would love to see him back at Ole Miss for another year, too. He was spectacular.
I think there's going to be a certain level of intrigue just based on only seeing him his time at Ferris State and then seeing him and what he was able to do and coming in for Austin Simmons during an injury. But I think that aside from physical talent and how he plays, I think it's going to also help him. Seems like a kid that a lot of franchises, organizations would be willing to take a chance on just because of those checks and the positive boxes of attitude and
the intangible stuff.
All the intangibles
yeah.
that you're looking for, especially if you feel like or maybe there's the perception that you're taking a gamble or potentially throwing away a pick.
Well, and I would just bring this up, and I understand they're different players. They have different physical tools, and we all know that the NFL loves, potential, right? That's what they draft on a lot of times. But I just go back a couple of years where you had a guy in Trey Lance from North Dakota State that was a top 10 pick in the NFL draft at quarterback, and he had never played above the FCS level. Now, granted, that's not worked out very well for him, but then I just go and look at a guy like Trinidad Chambliss. So you went from Division II, you then showed us what you could do in the SEC against the best college competition there is. You're telling me that Trey Lance was worth the top 10 pick 5 years ago, and now Trinidad's not worthy of being in that discussion? I guess that would just be my comparison is we've seen him take chances on guys that haven't performed at this level in college football, and Trinidad now has.
I mean, take a guy like Malik Willis.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, most of what he was able to do and scouts liked is what he did at Liberty.
And if you follow the NFL, there's a lot of people this year that think Malik Willis is going to get a contract next year to be a starting quarterback in the NFL because he's looked really good when Jordan Love has been banged up. You never know.
So Ross Dellinger from Yahoo Sports, he is reporting that Trinidad Chambliss's deal at Ole Miss is in excess of $5 million for next season, which would be more than Sorsby at Texas Tech. So presumably, when Tom Mars goes into court and asks for relief and an injunction, he is going to point to the fact that my client is set to make $5+ million at Ole Miss, and you're denying him an opportunity to earn a living. And so, listen, I think that they'll get the injunction, and then the fun really will begin because then you'll have the NCAA have to combat what they have denied. So.
If I'm Trinidad Chambliss, though, and let's just say I get an early second-round grade, but I've got an offer to come back to Ole Miss for $5 million, I'm coming back and I'm going to play one more year at the college level.
Mm-hmm. We pointed this out before. We all agree that Trinidad Chambliss is not going to be a 7th-round pick in the NFL draft, but you just go and you look to what happened to Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders was the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns for the last quarter of the season in Cleveland, and his total deal, not per season, but his total deal is $4.3 million. And that's what, a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal? His rookie deal, Shedeur.
It's 4 because it's only
4.
5 if you're in the first round. You get that option. So I'm looking for comparison. So Tyler Shuck last year, second round pick by the Saints, 40th overall, the quarterback from Louisville. He signed a deal, a 4-year, $10.8 million contract. So you're making 2.5-ish a year, and Trinidad could make double that at Ole Miss.
You can make $5 million and improve your stock, and maybe be the top pick, second pick in next year's NFL draft.
I will say the only concern you would have is that next year's quarterback class could be really good.
I will state it on this Friday at 12:55 Central Time that I believe that if Trinidad Chambliss wants to come back and play another year of college football, he will be allowed to do so.
Seems like a safe bet.
I'm taking Mars in a Mississippi courtroom. That would be like women's basketball playing a home game back during that stretch.
Playing Carson Newman.
Carson Newman's won natties. We have listeners that had grandfathers. Carson Newman. Study up on Carson Newman. Fourth and final hour, Pat Ponders on the way, as well as your text as we continue on Friday.